searching for a new roommate. A roommate's secret. Emily had been searching for a new roommate for weeks. Living alone in a 2-bedroom apartment was getting too expensive. Finally, she found Sarah. Sarah was friendly, neat, and seemed perfect. They hit it off instantly, and within a few days, Sarah moved in. At first, everything was great. Sarah paid her share of the rent on time, helped with chores, and even cooked dinner sometimes. But then, strange things began happening. Small items like keys and phone chargers went missing, only to reappear in odd places. Emily shrugged it off, thinking she was just being forgetful. One night, Emily woke up to the sound of whispering. She assumed it was the TV and went to the living room to turn it off. But the room was dark and Sarah's door was closed. She pressed her ear to Sarah's door and heard hushed, frantic whispers, though it sounded like Sarah was alone. The next morning, Emily asked Sarah about the noises. Sarah laughed it off, saying she must have been talking in her sleep. But Emily couldn't shake the eerie feeling. Over the next few days, the whispers grew louder, and sometimes Emily heard footsteps in the hallway at odd hours. Emily started feeling watched, even when she was alone. She noticed Sarah staring at her with a strange intensity. When she asked if everything was okay, Sarah would just smile and say she was fine. Emily's unease grew. One night, Emily had a nightmare. She dreamed of a dark figure standing at the foot of her bed, watching her sleep. She woke up in a cold sweat, heart pounding. To her horror, she saw the silhouette of a person standing in her doorway. She reached for her phone and the figure vanished. The next morning, Emily confronted Sarah. "Were you in my room last night?" she demanded. Sarah looked genuinely confused and denied it. Emily didn't believe her, but had no proof. She decided to install a small camera in her room for her peace of mind. That night, Emily set up the camera and went to bed. Around 3 a.m., she woke up to the feeling of someone watching her. She checked the camera feed on her phone and froze. There was Sarah standing by her bed, staring at her with vacant eyes. Emily didn't dare move. After what felt like hours, Sarah turned and left the room. The next day, Emily reviewed the footage. it was even more disturbing in the daylight. She showed it to a friend, who urged her to call the police. But Emily hesitated. What would she tell them? That her roommate was watching her sleep? It sounded ridiculous. Emily decided to confront Sarah again. She waited until they were both home and asked her directly, showing her the footage. Sarah's expression changed from confusion to anger. "You shouldn't have done that," she said coldly. Emily's blood ran cold. That night, Emily locked her bedroom door and pushed a dresser in front of it. She barely slept, listening for any sound. Around 2 a.m., she heard scratching at her door, followed by soft, menacing whispers. She held her breath, heart racing. In the morning, she found deep scratches on the outside of her door. She decided she couldn't stay another night. Emily packed her bags and left the apartment, staying with a friend until she found a new place. She never spoke to Sarah again. After moving out, Emily heard rumors about the apartment. The previous tenant had also left suddenly, and before that, there were stories of strange occurrences and unexplainable noises. Emily shuddered at the thought of what might happen if she'd stayed. To this day, Emily can't explain what she experienced. Was Sarah just a troubled person, or was there something more sinister at play? She'll never know for sure, but she's learned to trust her instincts and never ignore the feeling of being watched.